Montville Township Board of Education meeting. Mrs. Slunt, roll call, please.
Dr. Cordolino?
Here.
Mr. Daughtry?
Here.
Dr. Modrak?
Here.
Mr. Morella?
Here.
Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Rappaport?
Here.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Here.
Mr. Palma?
Here.
Mr. Brown?
Present.
Mr. Amher? Mr. Hovell?
Here. Pledge of allegiance, please, ladies and gentlemen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Open meetings, notice, please, Mrs. Swan.
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provision of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education has provided a public notice of this meeting, which includes the time, date, and location that was posted at the Montville Township Municipal Building, all Montville Township Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, the Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the district website, and advertised in the Daily Record, the board's official newspaper, on January 10th, 2018.
Thank you very much. We'd like to welcome our high school representative again. And Mason, we're going to open the floor to you. If you have any reports, comments.
So to start off, all of our sports have come to an end recently. Field hockey, the girls varsity team played a hard game last week against Madison High School, losing 7-0. They ended off well with a good score. So football, our football team performed great this year. They won 2 Fridays ago against the Jefferson Falcons 4-0. Seniors such as Grant Shine, Matt Crone, Alex Califf, and Dean have been making a great year for the team, and our record has been better than it has in the past 12 years, making it to playoffs. The girls' tennis team is having a great season, or it just ended. They had a great season, and all the seniors are being congratulated for such a good performance. Girls varsity soccer, they had a good season. It was rough at first, but they picked it up in the end and had a great season.
Now we're going to introduce Malik. I think this is your first
Yeah,
meeting.
sorry, I apologize for being late.
That's all right. There's a $10 fine.
I apologize.
Why don't you go now?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the boys soccer team loses 2-1 in the state semifinal after an incredible run, beating top seeds Morris Hills and Old Japan. Overall, great year from our boys as we congratulate them on their efforts and a fantastic season. Okay, so an update on the football team. The football team has given Montville their best year in over a decade, winning its first playoff game in 12 years. Sadly, they finished with a record of 8-3. The Mustangs lose to #1 seed Summit this past Saturday in the state semifinal. And we congratulate our seniors and all other football players for giving us a year for the record books. The girls volleyball team ends their season with a 2-0 win over Roxbury. Although a disappointing season record-wise, we are excited for what our young juniors and sophomores can do next year. As of late, our school marching band has been performing at an amazing level, coming in first at the state's competition at Rowan with a score of 90.9. They then moved on to win U.S. Band's national competition in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and we congratulate them on a spectacular season.
And for cross country, the boys team just ended this last weekend at groups, and Anna George is actually still continuing to meet at champions this weekend on Saturday. Into activities and clubs and other things. Music Club has started meeting. The Drama Club is actually performing this week, starting Thursday at 7:30 and also Saturday at 7:30. They've been working really hard, so it'd be nice for everybody to get out there and see their performance. Forensics team this year has also had a very outstanding performance in all of their competitions. They've been placing very high, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth. They've been taking it on every competition I've seen them go to. And for anything else, we started our Thanksgiving food drive, which is going to end this Friday, and that's all we got.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, and welcome. Your first meeting, your second meeting, and hopefully we'll be able to coordinate the dates with you. But thanks for a very comprehensive report. Any questions of the two gentlemen? And I'm glad I agree with you that this was a very successful season for our program, both academically and sports-wise, and with the band performing, and first time both the football team and the soccer team made semifinals of the state tournament. I think that's well known for the program that we're supporting. Please share that with your colleagues in the school. Superintendent's report, Dr. Rotar.
Okay, we have a couple of presentations this evening. I'd like to begin by inviting Mr. Nazak to introduce the ShopRite Stars.
Okay. Ken?
Good evening. I'm happy to be here this evening to present our ShopRite Stars for the first month of June. These stars were nominated by our faculty members in 5 different categories and were accepted by the administrative committee. In addition to the recognition of these wonderful students, ShopRite generously donates $1,000 for project graduation for the class of 2019. Please join me in congratulating each of our stars this evening. In the field of academics, congratulations to Alex Pern. When discussing the nominations for this award, current and former teachers of Alex's categorized him as an outstanding student who is extremely hardworking. Alex is able to maintain a high GPA while also dedicating a lot of his free time to various academic clubs and career pursuits. For example, Alex is the vice president of the Model UN, founding member of the UNICEF Club, and came in 17th place of 600 students at the National Speech and Debate Association's national competition. And has also qualified to the state competition during each of his 3 years in the DECA Club. Outside of school, Alex has a paid internship at a law firm and runs a clothing resale business, which he has operated since 7th grade. Alex is currently applying to law school and plans to major in economics and philosophy. Again, congratulations. In the field of athletics, congratulations to Hendrik Mayer. The soccer team contributes some of the success this year, reaching the semifinals in state competitions. Hendrik's play and leadership. For the past 4 years, Hendrik has been a member of the varsity soccer team. Over the past 2 years, he has led the team in scoring and has 29 career goals, including 14 this season. Hendrik was the captain of the varsity team this year and was just named to the first team all-county and first team all-conference clubs. Hendrik also plays club soccer at TSF Academy, and his team reached the semifinals of the National Dallas Cup tournament last year. As talented as he is on the field, he is just as talented academically. For example, last summer, Hendrik was selected to participate in the New Jersey Governor's School of the Sciences, which is a program for the top 60 science students in the state. He's been able to accomplish all of these recognitions while maintaining a 4.7 GPA. Hendrick is currently applying to several schools and would like to play soccer at the Division III level while also majoring in physics. Again, congratulations. In the field of the arts, congratulations to Maddie Enriquez. Over the past 4 years, Maddie has been one of the driving forces behind School of Rock. In addition to being the lead guitarist for School of Rock, Maddie has actively volunteered his time to support the Homeless Bus, MEF, Girl Up, 11th Hour Rescue, Montville's First Aid Squad, and local families in need. Maddie was also featured in a documentary, which seems like we're all enjoying together, about the Montville School of Rock. The film was premiered at a festival in Atlantic City in October. This past summer, Maddie was among a small group of high school students to be selected to attend a 5-week program at the Berklee College of Music in Boston. At the end of the program, Berklee allowed students to audition for entry into their college. Maddie auditioned, received early admission and a generous scholarship to attend the College of Music. Again, congratulations. In the field of community service, congratulations to Max Campo. It is safe to say that in his 4 years at MTHS, and even beyond that, Max has consistently volunteered more than 20 hours per week, each week, to various local organizations. Max's service includes his work as an altar server, usher, and teaching assistant at his church, as a mentor for the Pathways for Exceptional Children, and as a Boy Scout. Max achieved the honor of Eagle Scout at the age of 15, which is more than 2 years earlier than the national average. Max has also been an active member of our track team in grades 10, 11, and 12, and a passionate member of the baseball team for all 4 years. Max is currently applying to several colleges and plans to pursue a major and career in athletic training. Again, congratulations. And in the field of leadership, congratulations to Colin Newman. Colin is a natural leader who is respected by students and staff alike. Examples of his responsible leadership, positivity, and outstanding character can be found in several places throughout the building and the district as a whole. For example, in the past year alone, Colin advocated for the MTHS Deaf Club, was an essential student leader on the school climate committee, and also an active participant on the District of Character panel. Students admire Colin for his leadership and staff rely on Colin for his presence and positivity. I can speak on behalf of the entire MTHS administrative team when I tell you that I can't think of a single event that Colin has not attended. Many of the major events on campus were planned because of Colin through his participation in SAC. Colin is currently applying to several colleges and plans to major in public health with a focus on pharmaceutical science. Again, congratulations, Colin, and to all of our
Mrs. Marinello would like for the 5 ShopRite stars to take the picture. Come on, right here. Come on down. Right here. Our second presentation this evening is a film that was produced by students here at the high school. It was submitted as part of a film festival that was run, I believe, for the first time as part of the New Jersey School Board's Fall Conference in Atlantic City. It was the last film screened as part of the film festival, and I believe based on the comments that were made when the film was introduced was because I think it was the most outstanding film that was submitted. Not only the content, but had very high production values, as you'll see. The students did a great job. But not only was it produced by our students, it's about our students and about the School of Rock. So, it's just a very proud moment. I know Mr. Brown was also there at the screening, and it's just a really wonderful film. And we're happy to be able to share it with everyone else tonight. I know we have Mr. Sia, Mr. Lippincott here, representing the faculty involved in this production. So I guess without any further ado, if we could press play on the film. Hi, how much? It's everywhere.
Playing and listening to music is my passion, and it's what gets me through every day. And really, I would be nowhere without it. I mean, my first word was guitar, so as long as I can remember, I was playing toy guitars and singing to Bruce Springsteen videos on the TV. So really, music has been in me my entire life.
School of Rock has definitely changed who I am as a person, and overall just made me a better musician, because it's really different being an individual musician versus playing with a band. There are so many things that you have to be aware of that you don't really get from just playing on your own. And that's something that has helped me grow tremendously.
Music has influenced my life. It pretty much is my life. My whole life revolves around music. I owe pretty much everything I know about arranging music and producing it to School of Rock. I would know nothing without it, pretty much.
The Montville School of Rock performs really cool music. It's really happening stuff. It's the kind of stuff that we listen to on the radio. One of the students was doing his PowerPoint presentation on the Beatles, and I said, "What do you know about the Beatles?" He goes, "I know more than you." And it got into an interesting conversation, and next thing you know, we both brought in our guitars and jammed for the class as part of his presentation, and we played Beatles songs together. And the next day, we were playing after school together, and somehow there was a bass player in the room, and yeah, School of Rock got started like that. People have embraced it, especially in our community. It's really loved, and I just, sometimes I appreciate it, sometimes I sit back and go, I can't believe that. I'm just overwhelmed at how successful it's been. And I feel really, really lucky.
The School of Rock has helped me a lot. There's a lot of different ensembles in the school that I'm part of, percussion ensemble, jazz band, marching band, but nothing comes even close to the kinds of work that we do in the School of Rock. It's just a whole different monster. Nothing else, there's no other place in the school that I can just jump on the drum kit and jam out with these extremely talented musicians. I mean, it's really, it's crazy. It's like me hitting play on the studio track for whatever song we're playing, because they just nail it every time, and then I can just jam along. It's so much fun.
I love everything about the School of Rock, being involved in it and being around my friends and playing music. Even if I'm not the one playing the music, if I'm not on stage, I still love watching them and helping to make a concert better. Mr. Shear's passion throughout music has influenced about everyone to try their hardest and always put their A game into everything. And showed them the importance of music throughout their life and outside of school as well, and helped everyone become a better person throughout it.
Performance, I feel, has like, it's almost like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You know, there's first getting the basics, like the sounds, the textures, the notes, what key you're in, the timing, and those things like that. But more importantly, at the top of the pyramid is expression. You know, you've got to be reaching your audience, and the way to reach them is to feel something, because we as human beings, we perceive feelings, and that's how we communicate. You know, words are just a formality. How we convey emotion is, think about it, crying, laughing, singing.
I started singing just because I feel like a direct tie to music as just a great way to express yourself. I think School of Rock has definitely shaped like who I am as a performer, just because your stage presence is really different than sitting at home in your room or in your bathroom in the shower singing. And it's just really given me a lot of composure and just a lot of confidence on stage.
So my favorite part of being in School of Rock is generating all the friendships. You get to know everyone in the band. You get a bigger appreciation for music in general. And when you see all these songs and like the meanings behind them, I like helping out with Mr. Sia and managing the band. So it's overall a really good experience.
My favorite memory about being with the School of Rock, I think, was the closeness of the group. I made a lot of friends in the School of Rock, and everybody had each other's back. It was just, you know, you were more than friends almost. It was like family.
I mean, I've been singing since I came out of the womb, so I knew I wanted to do something in school that involved singing. I brought my microphone in, and I looked at Mr. Sia and I said, "Hi, is this where School of Rock is?" And he was like, "Yeah, come in." And it was just the start of something new.
School of Rock helps you grow as a musician because it pushes you into new directions. You try different styles of music. Like I remember last year we were doing "Don't Worry About a Thing" by Stevie Wonder, so I had to like learn how to play a little bit of like a Latin type piano. It was an interesting experience, new rhythm, new type, and it also pushes you to improvise a lot too, like do little riffs and you know, like when you're playing music outside and you're playing some sheet music, you don't have much like freedom to do whatever you want. But the School of Rock pushes you to kind of express yourself.
feel like the Montville School of Rock impacts Montville Township because it shows and allows kids to appreciate and express their love for music. Like, there's not many programs like this in a school, so I think it's really special that we have it here.
Music has really influenced my life because it's my whole life. Like, music is all I do. I'm not really into sports or anything, so all I do is really like sing and play. And every time I'm upset or anything or stressed out, I just listen to music and it makes me feel better. School of Rock is really important to me because it's given me the opportunity to make a bunch of new friends who I probably wouldn't have met without band. And we all have the same common interest of making music and performing.
I'd like to see the formula of School of Rock. That is the parent involvement and the community involvement and the student involvement and students giving back to their community. The way this all happened, there's a certain formula for it, and I'd love to roll that out, you know, to other schools, and I'd like to see it spread. You know, having a School of Rock in a school system is priceless, and I'd like to see musicians who don't read music taking it a little bit more serious, because when I think about it, you know, people like Paul McCartney really don't read sheet music, but they're the greatest composers that ever lived. And I'd like to see rock ensembles go through, you know, public school system and be accepted there. It's wonderful to have a one-stop shop, you know, and be able to, right after school, go to your club and, you know, have all this equipment right here in a classroom and be able to play it. So, you know, that's kind of the future I see for School of Rock, is the idea of having it in a public school spread.
sure. I was very, very proud of it when it was premiered down in Atlantic City, and I think it really is a great reflection of the wonderful programs that we have here at MTHS.
Thank you, Renee. I was also fortunate to be there. In fact, before the performance, the school board was handing out a free pass for lunch. So I had 2 passes. And I know Renee came in and she had 2 passes, and it's just the 2 of us. So all of a sudden I see 2 of your representatives from School of Rock come by, Anthony. So we each gave them 1. And I guess they had pizza and soda, whatever it was. And they said that you would pay us for the passes. I mean, we'll wait after the meeting. And again, what a great job, and I was so proud representing the Board of Education. But we were at Montville, and I wanted to thank the parents, I don't know if any of them are here tonight, who drove down to see that. So you look familiar. Just to thank you to come all the way down to see that, and it was just fantastic. And thank you for a wonderful presentation, and thank you for representing Montville in such a professional way. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, that concludes my report.
Okay. The next part of our agenda is committee reports. Oh, excuse me, Business Administrator's report, Mrs. Slump.
I just wanted to update the board on the status of various projects that are going on throughout the district. As you know, we were working on 4 of the 7 schools over this past summer during the teachers' convention break. A lot of the punch list items on those projects were being completed. We are now going out to bid for the work to be done at Valley View, Hilldale, and Woodmont, which will be the projects for the summer of 2019. And we will begin phase 2 of the work in the first 4 schools, High School, Lazar, Cedar Hill, and William Mason, including the air conditioner project throughout the entire district.
Thank you. Committee reports, finance and facilities.
We just met shortly before tonight's board meeting, and basically Mrs. Hunt provided the update of our meeting. As she indicated, the summer projects, which involve 4 schools, are down to punch list items. She and the business office and the administration are already planning for the summer of 2019 referendum projects, which will involve the remaining 3 schools. Were advertised. You mentioned the phase 2 projects. We should be looking at a contract as a result of the energy savings improvement project in December. And that really occupied most of our meeting.
Thank you, Karen. Any questions? Curriculum, Mr. Palmer?
Apparently the consensus is that we're having a meeting on December 4th before our board meeting.
Okay. Mr. Palmer, may interject something?
You may.
Just as a mic, will you mic?
Oh, with your permission. No?
Right ahead.
You know, coming in here tonight, it was a very dreary kind of dark night coming into the meeting. And I feel really uplifted by what we've seen with the ShotBright Stars, with the School of Rock. There's so many good things that's happening. There's something that I want to bring people's attention to, and I'd like to read it into the record because it's curriculum related, okay? So if I might just take a second to do this, a minute to do this, okay? Our superintendent forwarded to us a letter recently, and I just want to read it. It's very brief. The heading is United States Senate, Washington, D.C. October 14th, Montville Township Public Schools, Montville, New Jersey. Dear friends, it is a pleasure to extend my warmest greetings and congratulations as you gather to celebrate Montville Township Schools' character education initiatives. I am proud to hear that your school district was one of only 5 in the nation to have been named 2018 National District of Character by Character.org. The honor is well-deserved, recognition of your tremendous work on behalf of New Jersey's children. I am inspired by your township's service and dedication to building a strong and bright future for our state. Thank you for all that you've done and continue to do for your students from New Jersey. Again, congratulations as we celebrate your accomplishment, and please accept my best wishes. And it's signed, Cory Booker, United States Senator. Things like this letter, things like that production, things like the ShopRite Stars, and so many other things that I come in here. It makes me feel so good. I know this sounds like a preaching to the choir here, but it's all about, all I could think of during that presentation was the opportunity for students in so many ways to self-actualize. And I think that's one of the most important things that we do through the curriculum and the expanded curriculum. So I just wanted to read that into the record, in addition to all the other good things that we've seen. Thank you for your indulgence.
I think we do an excellent job here at Montville of educating the entire student, and I've said it many times, there's a lot more to education than test scores. It's something that we get, we've gotten it for a long time. I'm very proud of this.
You're here.
Very good, thank you, Michael. Continuing with the agenda, policy and personnel. Okay. Communication, Karen, you haven't been updated?
No, nothing to report.
Safety and security, John? There's no ad hoc committee. Delegates, New Jersey School Boards, Karen. I know there's a meeting this Saturday coming up.
Yes, Charlie. The Delegate Assembly will meet this Saturday down in Mercer County at Mercer County Community College. The Delegate Assembly is a twice-a-year meeting where delegates from every school district in the state gather to hear reports from New Jersey school boards, as well as to vote on various resolutions. We're very fortunate in that on Saturday there were two special guests, Lucille Davey, former Commissioner of Education, and Senate President President Sweeney will be at the conference to have some words with us and hopefully take some questions.
Thank you very much. Morris County, Michael O'Brien?
I think the presentations last week, I thought they were really great. It's just they're so squeezed in. We don't have enough time to really elaborate. I think it was very worthwhile. We had so much last week. So I enjoyed it. And I want to say, keeping that, I see you here.
Very good.
Yes, we had our superintendent was one of the presenters. Karen, as you know, is the president. And Michael and I were there in attendance also, and I had the pleasure of meeting the new county superintendent of schools. Very nice individual.
Just to elaborate a little bit more on that, the meeting, the topic of the meeting was social emotional learning, meeting the needs of all students. And Renee really did a very fine presentation on Montville Township's mindfulness initiative. And it was very well received, a lot of interest in this topic. So I wanted to say thank you, Renee, for taking the time to be a presenter at the meeting.
John, Morris County Educator, I know there's a meeting tomorrow night, right? And you're going to be me. I'll fill in for you again. Drug awareness, Mr. Palmer?
I believe there's a meeting tomorrow night, correct, Joe?
Yep.
Mustangs, Mike?
It seems like every month I say,
next night,
but tomorrow night's the meeting, which it is, and then you never find out, what happened at that meeting. The Mustangs continue to do their good work, to support the programs in the school. They will continue to do so. I encourage anybody that's sometime you have a free night to stop by. So it is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.
and that's on the second or third?
Okay, they change the schedule. It's usually the first Monday, Wednesday, excuse me, with exceptions. All right, like this being one of them. And now they're going to have 2 less meetings during
wants to go, just contact Mike and
I'll give you
PTCs, Cedar Hill, Karen?
I attended the October 17th meeting. Unfortunately, I forgot my notes at home, but one thing I won't forget to mention is I had an opportunity to visit Cedar Hill's new sensory room. And if you get a chance, maybe during another home and school meeting, you should take the opportunity to visit what they've put in place at Cedar Hill. This is walking into it, I felt like I was walking into a spa. There's beautiful soothing music, lots of chairs and different types of stimuli, light. There's a large television screen that is showing waterfalls or beach, and it's primarily meant to help students decompress, if you will, or to gather themselves back up. But there's no doubt that any student or any adult walking into that room immediately feels calmer. So I think it would be great to have them in all of our schools, but if you get a chance, head over to Cedar Hill and take a look.
So everybody wake up after Karen's report.
Very relaxed.
Yeah.
Hilldale,
Calming experience.
Dave? I need the red light on.
Have some interesting lights tonight. So Hilldale PTC, they mentioned a few things. They've got their holiday boutique coming up at the end of November 16th of this month. It's Diwali. So they're going to be doing a Diwali festival. And it's always a lot of fun. The kids, some of the kids come in and put on presentations. It's very interesting. They have a bingo night coming up later this week on the 15th. And they also have a Chipotle dinner fundraiser on the 20th. 1/3 of your cost goes to the PTC at Hilldale. But actually, one of the things I did want to talk to you about was they brought up an interesting problem they just ran into. Apparently, there was a phishing scam going on, which maybe some of the other PTCs have run into as well. Because they mentioned that another PTC alerted them to this possibility. Apparently, someone sends in an email to the treasurer of the organization, purporting to be, for instance, the president of the organization, saying, "Hey, this vendor hasn't been paid. Can you send them $1,600 or something?" And these look very real. And if it weren't for a few coincidences at the time, the treasurer probably would have paid the money to this scam. So apparently, a lot of the PTCs are being targeted, and I believe some of the other organizations in town are also being targeted by this type of a scam. Where again, I think maybe we've heard this with older people, where an older person will get a call from someone claiming to be a nephew. "Hey, Grandpa, I'm in jail. Can you send me, $500 for bail or something?" Anyway, so this problem is occurring in our school, in our organizations that take part in our school system. I don't know if there's anything that our district can do to help them out as far as their email addresses, helping them organize. Yeah.
I can answer that as when I was treasurer of the Lower PTC and the high school PTC, it happened to me, and basically, we just instituted policies where you don't just pay based on an email, you speak to the person who's supposed to come from. And you can tell if you look into it that it's really a fake email address, and they have the name populated like it's the president, but then for the most part, we've been able to avoid it.
Yeah, but I think in this case, the PTC had never experienced this before, and so they were very new to this. They had unless they got the warning from someone else more recently, they would have fallen for it. So, I mean, again, if there's anything that the district can do to help them out so they avoid these types of scams?
Maybe the team can bring it up at the next president's council.
Yeah, exactly.
to make them aware that don't pay anything.
Yeah.
You know.
Clubs, PTCs, any organization. Yeah, that's all I
Now,
have.
if you did get a call, if your grandfather was in jail, would you bail me out?
Yeah, I would, yeah, sure.
Joe, Hill, Valleyville, any reports, any meetings?
They had their meeting on the 25th.
Okay.
And they actually had their casino night on the 19th. The big fundraiser for them. It was well attended. I think they raised close to $9,000. That's great. And the next meeting is scheduled for January 16th.
The bulletin board is up, it's just not hooked up yet, right? But
Yes.
hopefully it'll be
Sign
hooked
is
up
there.
soon.
Waiting on the electrician.
Maybe by Christmas of 2021 or something. Palma, Woodmont, please?
I attended the last Woodlawn PTA meeting. They have a few events coming up, including a craft fair on the 28th. And they had a couple just questions as to a couple things that are going on in the district. I had a chance to just share those thoughts with Dr. Rothbar, and meetings coming up in late November.
Thank you. Mason, we're meeting next week. Lazar, Michelle?
They didn't have a meeting since we met last, just to reiterate that they're really gearing up for the Living Lessons program in May. And Lazar is also planning, they don't do big fundraisers often, but they're doing a first bingo night in April for fundraiser for the PTC.
Thank you. High school, Michael?
Their PTC is meeting on the 29th, I believe. And I might have missed a meeting, Michelle. You recall when that was the last high school meeting?
There was just the one. This is the
Okay, so that's the one, so it's the 29th.
Okay. Negotiations, and hopefully this will be the last agenda where we have to have these three items on, since we technically voted to approve the contracts for each of these groups. But Karen, would you like to say anything for the MTDA?
Sure. The MTEA ratified, I believe, I want to say October 31st. October 31st, the board ratified on November 2nd. So the nuts and bolts are done. But I did want to say that negotiations may be hard work, but I believe Montville sets an example for trust, respect, collegiality, and friendship. And I would like to thank the association for all of their hard work and their willingness to negotiate in really quite a collegial and friendly atmosphere. And I'd like to thank my colleagues on the committee as well.
Thank you, Karen. I also would like to congratulate the members of the MTEA. I see Scott out there. I can't see him in the podium. But I'd like to thank you, and I'd also definitely like to thank our committee members, chaired by Karen. Took a while, but it seemed to all come together in the last couple of weeks. And the business administrator indicates that the salaries will be approved on the December 4th agenda, and that hopefully the checks will be distributed by Christmas. Is that correct, Mr. Sump? That's our goal right now. The MTAA and MTSIA also settled, and they were approved on November 2nd as well. Additional reports is, I just have one thing that I'd like to personally, on behalf of my colleagues, thank Mike O'Brien. Mike, as you know, has been the announcer for the home football games, I guess, since the high school was built. It's a safe analysis, right? Not that long? It seems that long. But Mike has done a tremendous job, and he used to get paid before he became a board member. And after he became a board member, you know, he can't get paid, but he continued to volunteer his services, not just for the home games, but also at the away games. And I think his presence there at these events, along with other school activities, is really what being a board member is all about. Participating, whether it's at the VFW on Sunday, like you and I were there, whether it's going to the Morris County School Boards to support Karen, whether it's going to committee meetings. And I would just like to personally thank you for everything you've done since you've been on the board in this athletic area along with every other. And I want you to continue because it's very informative to us, your reports to come out of this. So thank you very much. Public participation is an opportunity.
Mr. Brown?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I do have one additional report that I guess we can kind of fold into communications. And that is that, Renee might have mentioned this at a prior meeting, but I thought it was worth mentioning again, that Montville Township Public Schools was recognized with 2 of the 2018 School Communication Awards presented by New Jersey Public Relations Association. The district captured the first place award in marketing, branding, and image, and the second place award in the category of special interest publication. And honestly, none of this would happen if it weren't for our district communications officer, Sue Marinello. So thank you, Sue, for all of the hard work. We really appreciate everything you do. And just so the board is aware, we talk about Morris County School Boards Association, but every county has an association. And on November 29th, Sue was invited to present to the Morris County School Boards Association on the topic of branding and marketing your school district. So hopefully one day, Sue, you'll come on over to Morris County School Boards. And I feel terrible. I didn't think of such a wonderful topic. But we'll see you at Morris County School Boards meeting one of these days. Absolutely. And congratulations. Thank you.
Since we're on that, I know that we all know about this, but also down at the School Boards Convention, 3 of our schools received awards. Renee, maybe I can ask you to expand upon that. I know they were Valley View, Woodmont, and Hilldale.
Joining Lazar, who received the award last year, bronze certification through the Sustainable Jersey for Schools program. Each of the schools had to submit documentation and a very rigorous process to be recognized for their efforts in sustainability. So we're very proud to have 4 schools having earned that recognition.
I think this year Montville got 3 awards because Lazar was the prior year, but I don't think there were many other schools, if any, that also got 3 awards. And I'd like to thank the administration for that. And hopefully Cedar Hill and Cedar Hill and Mason can work towards that for this year, so we can make it a clean sweep on those. Okay? Public participation. It's time. Anybody has any questions on the agenda? I can have a motion on the agenda, please.
So moved. Second.
Minutes, aye. J. K. L. H-I-J-K-L. M.
That's good.
N. And I think that's it. All right, roll call, please, Mrs. Slump.
Mr. Morella?
Yes.
Mr. Daughtry?
Yes, but abstain on K1, purchase order 89-1868.
Dr. Cordolino?
Yes.
Mr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Rappaport?
Yes.
Ms. Zuckerman?
Yes.
Mr. Palma?
Abstain on those special meeting minutes on November 2nd, yes on everything else.
Mr. Grau?
Yes. There's no need for a closed work session. Old business, any old business? Any general board comments and new business, Dave?
Yeah, I just had a quick comment. I was walking through Woodmont. The Woodmont playground this weekend, and I happened to notice that it's really wet down there. I know we'll be getting a lot of rain, but there's this one section of the Woodmont lower field which is always wet and swampy. Just bring it to your attention. Maybe you can go on the list of things for when we get money next, that we might be able to improve that field and make it more usable for the kids there.
Believe it or not, it's better now, Dave, than it used to be. That isn't saying a lot. Anything else?
Yes.
Mike?
We recently had an election, and first of all, congratulations to all the board members who were re-elected. And this is not at all meant to be a partisan topic, but I was looking at the ballot, and when I got to the ballot booth, I looked at the inside also when I voted. And when you look at the number of votes that were cast, it appears that there were generally about, ballpark, about 10,000 people who voted in Montville, and for an uncontested board election, each board member got about 5,000, give or take. Now, it was an uncontested election, there's no harm done, but as I look at the ballot over here, and I've seen the same thing in every election. You have Republicans, Democrats, and then all the way on the right side, you've got the board members. And I think most people's eyes just go down here, and I truly believe that half the people just don't even see the Board of Education election over here. And I'm just wondering if there's something that can be recommended to the county for a little bit of a better, placement of the board members on the ballot. Because like I said, it was an uncontested election, there was no harm done. But I think most people just go here, down like that, get a question below. I don't think most people go here and then all the way over to the right. I just feel like half the voters are being disenfranchised.
This was brought up when the elections first started occurring in April. They were in worse position than they are now. They were down the lower right in very small print. The County Board of Election has changed it. They're the only ones that can change the structure, not the freeholders. It's the County Board of Election. I think what might be an idea to bring it up in our next Morris County School Boards, since we have plenty of time, to see if anybody in that group feels the same way. If they do, maybe then we could pass one resolution of all the school boards, which might have a little bit more power than just little old Montville coming through on our own. So if we can do that, Karen, or just as like a questionnaire or something, I'll bring it up.
I'll bring it if you're not at that meeting. I will bring it to their attention. Somebody reminds me.
Okay.
At that time.
We have time.
When is the next meeting?
January 31st.
2019. All right, any public participation on non-agenda items? Motion to adjourn, please.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the School of Rock.